Today, I am going to take you on a tour of Longboat Key, Florida, so you can really see what this island is all about. We're going to explore the lifestyle. We'll look at the different areas on the island, and of course, I'm going to show you what the real estate actually looks like here. If we haven't met yet, I'm Gina Ursini. I'm a real estate broker here on Longboat Key, and I make videos to help people who are thinking about relocating here understand what it is really like. So, to start, Longboat Key is a barrier island just off the coast of Sarasota. It runs about 10 miles from the north end down to the south end. You've got the Gulf of Mexico on one side and Sarasota Bay on the other. And there's one main road, which is Gulf of Mexico Drive, that runs the entire length of the island. So it is actually really easy to get around here. And one of the things that makes this island so unique is that it is not very wide. At its widest point, it's only 1 mile. The rest of the island is about a half-mile wide. So in just a few minutes, you can go from the bayside, and just like that, you're on the Gulf. Our beaches actually run the entire length of the island, from the north end all the way down to the south. Now, one thing that's a little different here, there is not one big public beach like you're going to find in Siesta Key. Instead, there are smaller beach access points. And a lot of the condos and homes here, they have their own private beach access. So depending on where you live, your beach experience can feel a little different. If you prefer public access with parking, one of the largest beach access points is at 100 Broadway on the north end of the island, which offers one of the more convenient beachside parking areas. Now, another great option is Bayfront Park, where you can park on the bayside and you can use the crosswalk to reach the beach just across Gulf of Mexico Drive. All right, so now that you've seen a little bit of the island, let's take a look at what the real estate actually looks like here. The island was significantly influenced by John Ringling in the 1920s. He began developing what was intended to be the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, but the construction stopped during the land boom. The structure was eventually torn down, and today that site is home to what we now know as the Longboat Key Club. Longboat Key became its own town in 1955, establishing a local government with essential services like police and fire departments and promoting community growth and organization. Longboat Key offers a diverse range of real estate options, from luxury condos to single-family homes. The area is characterized by its unique neighborhoods and amenities that cater to various lifestyles. Now let me show you a few neighborhoods. The north side of Longboat Key features neighborhoods like Longbeach Village, often referred to simply as the Village. This area has that true old Florida charm because it's one of the oldest neighborhoods on Longboat Key. The first settler, Thomas Mann, made his home here with his family, and over time, it evolved into a small fishing village filled with quaint cottages, and some of those cottages are still standing today. Now, one of those historic cottages is now home to Mar Vista, which is a local favorite right on the water. You'll also find other neighborhood staples like the Shore, which showcases some spectacular water views, and Whitney's, which is a former gas station that's been thoughtfully transformed into a charming restaurant. Now, as we start heading a little further north, there is the community of Sleepy Lagoon. In both Longbeach Village and Sleepy Lagoon, there are no HOA fees, which is something a lot of buyers are looking for. Sleepy Lagoon actually spans across both sides of Gulf of Mexico Drive. On the west side, you're going to find some stunning multi-million-dollar homes closer to the beach. And on the east side, it's a mix of single-family homes, some of the original ranch-style properties, some beautifully renovated, and some newer construction. Now, as we move a little further south, still on the north end, you're going to come into one of the more sought-after boating communities on the island. What really sets this neighborhood apart are the canal widths. They're noticeably wider, which makes it especially appealing for boaters. And there's a very minimal HOA here, around $750 per year. And one of the little hidden gems right at the entrance is a popular spot where people pull over to watch the manatees. On the south end of the island, you're going to find Country Club Shores, a community of just under 400 homes. With the exception of one street, nearly every home sits along a canal with access to Sarasota Bay, which is why it's so popular with boating enthusiasts. You're going to see a mix of original ranch-style homes, beautifully renovated properties, and quite a bit of newer construction throughout the neighborhood. And the HOA fees here are very minimal. They're generally around $250 per year, but that just depends on the specific section. The Longboat Key Club is also located on the south end. If you know Longboat Key, then you know the Longboat Key Club. Membership into the club includes golf, tennis, beachfront services, and dining options. The club also has its own marina, the Longboat Key Moorings. Now, you don't need to live behind the gates to purchase a membership. Anyone can purchase it. Behind the gates, though, you are going to find a mix of luxury homes and endless possibilities for condos. Also, behind the gates of the Longboat Key Club, you're going to find Lighthouse Point, a small, exclusive community of luxury homes. It has its own private entry within the club. And as you continue along Longboat Club Road, which is the main road that loops through the Longboat Key Club, you're going to come across some of the largest beachfront estates on the island. And throughout the island, you have some local restaurants such as Euphemia Haye, where the desserts are to die for. So be sure to visit the Haye Loft, which is their dessert room. There's also a variety of beautiful parks, including Durante Park and Bayfront Park and Overlook Park. And of course, some of the best sunsets you are going to find anywhere. Longboat Key is beautiful, but it is a very different pace out here. It is quieter. Some might say a lot quieter. It's more relaxed. It's more laid back. And for some people, that can feel a little too slow. So it's not for everyone. But just off the island, you have plenty of activity. There's St. Armand Circle, there's downtown Sarasota, there's Bradenton Beach, and there's Anna Maria Island. So you really have access to a lot. But if you're someone who wants to be in the middle of the hustle and bustle, then Longboat Key might feel a little too serene for you. But if you're looking for that peaceful, that coastal lifestyle, this is where Longboat Key becomes a great fit. And for me personally, it is exactly why I love living here. So if you are thinking about relocating to Longboat Key, or you just want to start exploring what's available, feel free to reach out anytime. And to help determine which part of the island fits your lifestyle best, you can visit my website at lbkcouture.com. It is a great place to start. You're just going to answer a few simple questions about your lifestyle, and then it will give you a list of the neighborhoods on Longboat Key that best fit what you're looking for. I look forward to helping you find your next home here on Longboat Key.